Hello everyone, I am Mangesh Kulkarni from Candid Advisors. Today we are going to discuss a long-term investment idea, that is DFM Foods. This stock I have identified for my personal portfolio, and DFM Foods is currently trading at 396 rupees. So we are going to discuss the basic details and what is the future outlook for the stock. Before proceeding, this is the brief information about me. I am running a wealth management firm in Pune, and this is our website www.candidadvisor.in. So if you need any help or if you have any inquiry for wealth management products, you can visit our website. Before proceeding, it is my duty to express my gratitude towards these people from whom I have learned a lot by watching them on television and YouTube. So first one is Mr. Ramdev Agarwal. He has a expertise in fundamental analysis. Then Mr. Prakash Gaba, he has expertise in technical analysis. And Mr. Anuj Singhal, he has expertise in market data analysis and futures and options. So before proceeding, this is our YouTube channel, Saving and Investing, where we share long-term investment ideas or analysis and short-term trading setups also. So if you have not subscribed till date, please do it so that you don't miss any important update. And with the help of this strategy, I have identified these stocks for my personal portfolio. As you can see, I have mentioned the buy price, current price, and what is the status, whether the stock is profitable or loss making for my portfolio. So we have identified 26 stocks, and I have started sharing the analysis of stocks on YouTube from April. So Maithan Alloys I had shared on 30th April on YouTube also. You can watch it on my YouTube channel. So as you can see, these stocks are doing very well for my portfolio, and the strategy is working very well. So I have identified 26 stocks till date, out of which 24 are profitable, 2 are loss making, and the top 3 profitable stocks are Tata Elxsi, which has given a 234% profit in a matter of 10 or 12 months. Then Hikal Limited is has given 174%. Megmani Organics has given 88%. And we have only 2 losers. So Aurobindo is in a minor loss, and CCL products also I have bought in last month only. So it is also near the cost price. So the beauty of the strategy is the profitable stocks will give much higher profits than the loss making stocks. So overall, I can expect 15 to 18% CAGR from this strategy. Before proceeding, this video is only for educational purpose. It is neither a recommendation nor a advice. This is intended to just share the analysis and help you to know how to analyze a stock and what all factors we should look into the stock. So coming to DFM Foods, DFM is a short form of Delhi Flour Mills. So it is a company based out of Delhi, and it is into the namkeen products, like the whatever products the Balaji wafers make. Similar kind of product profile DFM Foods also has. So it has basically it is currently catering to the north, west, and central India. So mainly Delhi and nearby areas. So the products are like bhujias, dal, then mixture and nuts. So uh, the the brands are Cracks and Nutcut. So this is a very old company, but recently there has been a management change. So this company is, I think, founded in 1980s or like that. So it is a 20-30 year old company, and the brand is very famous in northern India. And coming to the areas which DFM Food caters, so it is basically into Delhi, UP, Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Himachal, Jammu and Kashmir, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Gujarat. So this is a positive thing for me as an investor, because there are many states or many cities where DFM Foods has not entered. So this will be a trigger for future growth. And this is the trigger on in September 2019. What happened was the earlier management sold their stake in DFM Foods to private equity firm Advent. So Advent is a US based private equity firm and has a huge portfolio of various companies. So Advent bought all the stock, all the shares from the earlier management, and Advent is currently holding, I think, more than 73% of the company. So this is the trigger. Now coming to the financial highlights, I will open the Excel sheet. Yeah. So I have gathered all the data of DFM Foods. So coming to profit after tax, in 2012, company posted a profit after tax of 10.36 crores. Then in 2013 was 6.31, then 7.1, 11.01, then 25.04, then 2017 it was 18, and 23, 32, 24.42, and 28.7. So the profit growth was not that decent. So as I said, the earlier management was not desperate for growth. So now that problem has been solved because the new management is in place. So but we have to study the fundamentals, what the past is saying. So this company has delivered average growth of 10.73% in last 10 years. Now coming to the profit margin, in 2012 it was 6.1%, then 2.8%, 2.7%, 3.8%, 6.4, 5.4, 5.5, 6.8, 4.8, and 5.5. So average, as you can see, the profit after tax margin is in the range of 5 to 6%. So I think for a this kind of company, 5 to 6% profit margin is very low. But this will be rectified in coming years because the new management uh, will control the inefficiencies and try to bring in the efficiency in overall operations, and that will reflect in the ratios also. So we don't have to worry about these ratios. I think it will improve slowly and steadily. Coming to return on equity, in 2012 it was 51.4, because the return on equity is very important ratio for me as a long term investor, because my return on from this stock will depend on return on equity whatever the company generates over the long term. So in 2012 it was 51.4, then 26.8, 25.6, 30.8. In 2016 it was 45.7, 2017 it was 24.7, then 25.2, 27.5, 18.1, 17.1. So average ROE was 29%. So this can be a asset light business also. So the investments are one time, and once the brand is established, then you can make literally unlimited amount of money. So this business has a potential to generate this kind of ROE, and I think this will also improve with the as the time passes on. Now coming to shareholder funds, in 2012 the reserves and surplus was 20 crore. Then slowly and steadily the reserves have grown from 20 crore in 2012 to 168 crores in 2021. So this is an average growth of 23.6%. Now coming to the debt part, the long-term borrowings has been in the range of 60 to 120 crores. So in 2012 it was 66 crores. The company has not repaid the debt. In fact, they have taken debt for expansion also. I think new plant is commissioned and has started the operations. So for a uh, growth purpose, the company has taken the debt. Currently, the debt is at 118 crores. So as compared to the net worth, so the reserves are 168 crores and debt is 118. So that is a debt to equity of approximately 0.7%. But that's fine. That is not an issue, because I generally don't prefer companies above 0.5. But this is a exception because there has been a management change. Now, what is my rationale behind the stock selection? As you can see, the fundamental ratios, or in terms of debt, also it is, the debt to equity is also very high. Then why I have selected DFM Foods for my long-term portfolio? The logic is very clear. First of all, the sector is growing, because the food and beverages market in India has literally unlimited potential, because we have 130 crores of people, and this is the food industry is not going to die, so it is only going to grow only. Then as the per capita income rises, F&B market is going to grow. Then it will be beneficial for the namkeen manufacturers also. And second thing is, the Advent has picked up the stake in this company, and so they have experience and money, both the things. Then the most important part is Mr. Lagan Shastri is on board as a MD and CEO of the company. He has earlier worked with Hindustan Coca-Cola, as a he was heading marketing operations, and he was a director in that firm. And he has also done his MBA from IIM Bangalore. I think he was a alumni of 1996 batch, and he has passed out in 1998. So this is the pedigree of the management. He has excellent educational background and excellent experience. Then Mr. Nepal Singh is the product head for DFM Foods, and he has earlier worked with Haldiram and various other companies. So these two guys are going to do whatever the best things are possible for the company. So the company is in the right hands. So what we need, the sector has to grow. It has to be a growing sector. Second, the promoter should have literally unlimited amount of money. So that is true in case of Advent, because the money is not the problem for them. And the third thing, we need to have the right management to execute the growth plans. So all the three factors uh, are there for DFM Foods. So let's see how it works out. Then coming to the shareholding pattern, earlier there was a issue of a promoter pledging the shares, and all that issues are sorted out as of now. So there is no pledge. Promoter, that is Advent, is holding 73.71%, and FII has negligible stake in the company. DI is also a very negligible stake. There is no mutual fund currently, and in public, that is public is holding 25% of company, 25% of shares. So two things we have to note. The first one is, the private equity firm Advent is the promoter of the company, so that is a very huge positive. And second thing, Mr. Ashish Kacholia is known for small cap investing, and he has invested into various successful small cap stocks. So he has also picked up stake in DFM Foods recently in 2020, and he is increasing his stake. So that is also a huge positive for me as a long-term shareholder. Then coming to the valuation, current price of the stock is 397 rupees. Market cap is 2000 crore rupees. So as compared to the opportunity that is visible for this industry and for DFM Foods, this market cap is nothing. It has a potential to become 20,000 crores or 50,000 crores. So who knows what future is going to come. But the potential is there, definitely. There is no issue. Then in terms of price to earnings, it is very expensive, 69.6. But as the inefficiencies go out, and the profit margins improve and sales growth will come in, so this P will be automatically adjusted. And so looking at the future, the we should not look at P right now. In terms of price to book, it is trading again expensive, 11.4 times. Debt to equity 0.7. Dividend yield is 0, as the company is investing into capacities. They have not paid any dividend. These factors are temporary, and these are as of today. We have to anticipate the future and buy. Now coming to my strategy, as I have said, the stock is expensive, there is no doubt. So there is a future downside. Stock can come down also if the market comes down. So what we have to do, I have this risk management practice. So if I am not sure about the downside, so what I will do, if I have to buy 100 shares, I will buy 50 at current price, that is 397, and I will buy remaining 50 shares at approximately 250 rupees. So my average price will be somewhere in between 320 or 325. So even if the stock goes down further, so I'm not worried. And in terms of risk reward, 30-40% is the risk. The reward is literally unlimited. So we can't gauge the reward at this point, but I think this investment will work out. So let's see what happens. And investment is a tentative game, so we have to take risk and we have to manage the risk. And these are our products. We deal in mutual funds, PMS, AIF. We also have Demat account. We are a sub broker for ICICI Direct, Kotak Securities, and Upstocks. We also have stock market courses, fundamental, technical, and stock market advanced course. So if you want to learn and if you want to analyze on your own, you can surely get back to me on these numbers. So these are my telephone numbers, and you can also visit our website. Till then, have a nice day and happy investing.